Hey guys, welcome back to Judo Highlights. Today we'll have a look at the under 90 kilo category for the Paris Olympics. We'll have a look at the predicted quarterfinals and I'll give you guys my picks and who I think is going to go through and win it. Just like my under 81s video, I'm going to start with the wild cards, although I will say that the wild cards at under 90s probably not as strong as a lot of the guys at under 81s. So we've got Triple. He recently got the call to come to the Paris Olympics. He thought he wasn't going to be competing, so that's going to be short notice for him. I do like Han from Korea. He's someone who's a little bit newer to the scene and starting to kind of build a name for himself. Azerbaijan, they went with Fatiev. Now, he's had some good results recently, but I'm just so high on Hajiev right now. Hajiev from Azerbaijan, he's going to be the next big thing. He's absolutely amazing. But obviously for the Olympics, they're playing it safe, going with consistency and someone who has a little bit more experience. And next up, three guys who have been on the scene for quite some time. They've had good results in their careers: Ivanov, Selidis, and Vantiand. Vantiand's someone who really could just come back and take a medal. I'm not too sure what his problem has been recently. Could just be age, could be injury, could just be how the rules have changed recently. You never know. So those were the wild cards, and now I'll chuck my draw up on the screen so you guys can have a look, and we'll start talking about the quarterfinals in the top left. So here we've got Bakauri against Palati. Now, of course, everyone is probably going to expect Bakauri to take his second Olympic gold medal. He's definitely the favorite, that's for sure. But Palati, he's got an awkward style. This could be a potential upset. And Bakauri, he isn't the kind of guy to play it safe. Some of his techniques, I mean, he gets countered a lot. You see a lot of people countering him or throwing him for wazari, and then he comes back. So it's a hard one, but I mean, based on history, one win to Bakauri, and then just his presence in the judo scene, how well he performs on the biggest stages, I think it's hard to not pick Bakauri here. Moving on, going down to the bottom left, and we've got Sherov versus Toth. Now Toth actually has a win over Sherov, but Sherov, he got a wazari first, and then Toth came back and scored an ippon. I don't know why, but I just want to pick Sherov here. He's younger, Toth is getting older. I think his style matches up well, although I've counted out Toth a lot of times just because of his height. You know, he does look really small for the category, but I've heard from people that he's just incredibly strong. He's also got a weird uchimata that he does, kind of opposite side, and it's really just amazing to see a shorter guy do an uchimata. Although I gotta go with Sherov, just something in me feels like he's gonna take it. I think he's building. He's had some good results recently. So I'm gonna go with Sherov here. Now if we move on over to the right side of the draw, we've got Maidov against Gank. Now Gank, he's had some really good results recently. He took 2 consecutive gold medals, the first one at the Grand Prix in Portugal, and then at the Grand Slam in Paris. Now Maidov, his opponent, he's had some pretty good results as well recently. Took a silver medal at the World Championships in 2024. That was his last contest out. 2023 European champion as well. Now in head-to-head contests, it is Maidov with 2 wins against Gank. He threw him with a really clean ippon at the European Championships. Have a look at this one. And then he threw him with an also togari 4 years ago for another ippon. So Zank looks like an intimidating guy, looks like a big, strong guy, but I think Maidov just has the upper hand when it comes to technique and throws. So we're going to go with Maidov here. Now, the last quarterfinal is Bobanov against Morao. These two have gone up against each other quite a few times. 5 times is what I'm counting. Now, Bobanov, he's actually got the upper hand in terms of the record. 3 wins to him, 2 to Morao. Although a couple of those wins, for example, there was one where Morao got Hansokomake for a standing Juji Gatame attempt. And there was another one where there was a close contest and he just lost by Shido. Although, in their latest contest, Morao threw Bobanov twice. Once for wazari, once for ippon. And if you have a look at Bobanov's page on Judo Base, the last 3 contests he's had, he's lost. So I'm not sure exactly what's happening with him. He's not old at all, but, you know, just sometimes with these athletes, they just go through a little bit of a down period. So you never know, he might return to form for the Olympics. It's definitely the place to do it. But just based on their last contest, I gotta go with Morao here. So we'll stick with Morao and this side of the bracket. So it's going to be him against Maidov. Now these two, they haven't fought before, and if Maidov had like a crazy style that, you know, is hard to replicate, I would probably be picking him here. But his judo is very traditional, stand-up-ish. He's a right-handed fighter with a nice uchimata. But Murao, in that kind of kenkayotsu situation, he's also got an uchimata, and he really does well in these left versus right situations. So I'm picking Murao to win this semi-final and go through into the final. So going back over to the left side of the bracket, we've got Sherov versus Bukauri. Now I did mention in that quarterfinal with Sherov and Toth it could be really close, and I was just kind of picking Sherov off my feeling for the whole situation. But regardless of who makes it through that quarterfinal, Sherov or Toth, I think beating Bukauri is a tall order. I don't think either guy offers anything to Bukauri that's really going to cause him a problem. The two of them don't look too massive, especially Toth. And Bukauri, he's such a physical monster that I just feel he's going to throw his big hand over the top of either of these guys, latch on with an orsotogari, and who knows what's going to happen. Some kind of technique is going to come out of it. So neither Toth or Sherov have fought against Bukauri before, but I think for this contest, the writing is on the wall. I think it's pretty hard not to pick Bukauri in this situation. So that puts him into the final, and he's going to be up against Murao, at least according to me. Now, some people might be divided on my pick for this one, but I'm going to go with Murao. These two, they have fought before, and they've fought against each other more than once. And every time that Murao goes out against Bukauri, I think he does better. In their last contest, Murao was doing really well, almost threw him a couple of times, and then Bukauri, he came out with this crazy technique that no one had ever really seen before. And what I'm hearing from the Japanese judo scene is that Murao, he's the kind of guy who doesn't leave any stone unturned, very prepared guy. Going into the Olympics, he's going to have a lot of time to prepare for Bukauri. He's going to be expecting this matchup. He's felt him numerous times before. I think he knows all the techniques that he can pull out now, especially all these crazy ones. And he'll have an answer for it. So what I see is Murao, left versus right, going in for either an ouchigari or an uchimata. I think he'll come out aggressive, and I think he'll try to steal the contest as quickly as possible. The thing about Bukauri is he's not that hard to throw. A lot of people have thrown him for wazari quite often, and he's lost a few contests. It's just that he also has just an amazing ability to throw people, and he often comes back and counters. You know, there are a lot of contests where he's losing, then he gets a wazari, then he gets another one. He's very good at just somehow getting a score. So I think the game plan is going to be Murao comes out. He's got a good grip and go kind of ouchigari that he does. I think he'll be looking for that. And I think he'll be trying to get an early ippon if possible. And then if he gets the wazari, not sure what he'll do there. He might try to burn out the clock, or he might try for that second wazari. It is a bit dangerous, but I don't see Bukauri having the biggest counter game. So that's what I think. It might be an unpopular opinion, but it is what I think. Now, one other thing that might be an unpopular opinion is I think Murao has the potential to have a Nagase moment, not from the Tokyo Olympics, from the Rio Olympics, where he comes home with a bronze medal. He is a bit green. He is a bit kind of easy to read and see what he's going to do. And on the biggest stage, he might just have kind of a mental block, not know what to do. He might get a wazari against him and then fail to come back. You never know, he could lose against some of these unseeded players, but I definitely think Bukauri's going to be more consistent, and we'll definitely see him in the finals. Anyway guys, let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.